Welcome to Janagraha's 14th City Politics Conversation, #Cities Fight COVID. We heard about Mumbai's ward war rooms, Bengaluru zonal level triage centers and the BL Care platform, Chennai spot triaging, Kerala city's community engagement campaigns and ward level monitoring committees. And the models are not just these. Today we have with us city administrators from 4 heritage cities that came up with innovative and decentralized models to fight COVID.
The main purpose of this conversation is really to understand what were the challenges in your city and what did you do. Let's get started.
Because the emergency dawned on us overnight. So it's not something like we had a time to plan or we had a time to breathe even.
The basic challenge that we faced during first lockdown was to keep these people calm and cool. At the same time, we need to provide them all the essential facilities and the basic health care.
The kind of issues which we faced in the first wave and the second wave were very distinct and different.
For the second time of COVID, we have another problem. There is a protocol fatigue. People are get vaccinated. People they don't want to wear the masks. Now the positivity rate in the month of April is again going high.
So we set up these temporary medical camps, which were like quarantine centers, where these migrants would be housed, they would be fed, they would be taken care of for 14 days. Symptomatic people would be tested and screened and isolated, and this was a huge exercise in itself.
And they had given at least 1 ambulance and 1 mobile testing team per ward.
Our basic strategy to tackle the COVID was TTIP, that is tracking, testing, treatment, isolation and quarantine. In short, we have taken all the departments with together to tackle this COVID pandemic.
When we would go and ask somebody that who all have you met in the last 7 days, they would not answer. And they would feel that if they take somebody's name, that is taboo in itself.
So we never had that luxury again. To take all the primary contacts also to the hospitals and treat them. So by then we learnt our lessons.
We found in Surat that there was a hesitancy in some communities regarding admission to the hospitals. They had their own way of thinking. So we were the first to start this community care isolation center where the community people, community organizers come forward. They created in-house facility of beds. They provide them food. Recreational facility was also being provided there.
What can these citizen committees do to fight the upcoming waves as well as the corporation work that we do?
People did not know what does the ward officer exactly do. The office of the ward officer itself got great legitimacy through this decentralized model.
The people's participation is extraordinary. In anything, any appeal of the government, anything, they are coming out. They are coming out to help us.
Much before COVID hit us, we had the decentralized system of ward secretariats. So we have a ward secretariat for a household, so about 1,000-1,500 households have a ward secretariat.
For the same aspect, we created a Swachh Suraksha Kavach Samiti, that is also a community participation in which we disseminated the information where the conventional rugs will be placed.
So it was necessary that we take the community in confidence.
One thing that we heard repeatedly and it's a beautiful country, you hear different names, Sahi committees, Mohalla committees, Lane committees, Nagarik Samiti, Ward Secretary, they all, at the end of the day, they all mean one thing, right? How do you engage community into the governance of the city? And Srijana ma'am was talking about the limited resources of city corporations. Ananya ma'am talked about hesitancy and taboo. So there are multiple reasons to involve citizens in fight against COVID.
So I want to ask the esteemed panelists that is there any kind of a vision or any program in pipeline where they are looking forward for having this kind of a digital literacy campaign between the citizens and the corporations?
We have a 24/7 data center in our offices. Up to 12 midnight, we are receiving the positive data from the health department.
The technology interventions helped us to know where a certain positive is there, map it on the map, where is the nearby ambulance, where is the nearby health center, and we could also map in the bed availability to it. So even the citizens can just log into the COC website and see if they're a positive, what is the nearest hospital in which they require, if it is an ICU facility or it's just an oxygen bed or just a hospitalization. All that thing we could really bring closer to public with the help of smart city.
If you have entirely a centralized system, then there is a possible that the system may fail. So hence decentralization has other products also which are associated. If we have to look at removing taboo, then without taking the community into confidence, it is not possible.
The turnaround time from in March, April was about 24 hours. We could bring it down to 4 to 5 hours. All thanks to these ward secretariats that we have.
So we had a positivity around 1600 in the month of April. Now it comes down to around 150 to 200. So this is all about Guwahati.
The only way to fight this is to collaborate with the local government, and that's when all these committees have become active, and you could hear from real stories from the battlefront that's how things are working.
Let's all remember, the battle is not over yet.
The planning meetings, the surveillance workers, they came
positive in that area. So